What is happening, Carib Boys and girls? This is your boy Carib Boy with another Pokemon TCG video. And this is another Pokemon tournament recap. A Pokemon League Cup tournament recap. Our July to September Pokemon League Cup at MVE Collectibles concluded Saturday, 27th July 2024. And your boy Carib Boy has some news for you from that. I did it. But what I really do, or you probably want to know. Well, going into this cup, your boy Carib Boy decided, to lay out my Pokemon TCG journey in a series of what I feel to be achievable goals. I've been looking at my performance over my time playing the game, and I've won a tournament. I've topped many tournaments. But I've had some really bad tournaments, a lot of mid-tier results, a lot of 5th place, 8th place, 7th, 6th, 4th. I made 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 1st. One time 1st was a really small tournament. Sorry, twice 1st. Really long ago with Durant Mill and Eternatus in a very small 4-man tournament before. So my performance has not really been consistent in terms of topping. I think I have more topped than bad finishes. However, I don't consider it very consistent. So I went into this cup with the goal of reaching top 8, and with our past history with cups, we usually have a top 8 playoff. So my goal was to reach the playoffs, make top 8, and reach the playoffs. However, that one part of that did not happen because we usually have close to 30 people in cups, which would give us a top 8 playoff. But this tournament, we only reached 19 masters. We had 20 overall. We had a junior there. So 19 total masters, which gave top 8 championship points. However, only the top 4 were able to play off, and I guess with with my tone, you all could realize which one of that did not happen. So I did it in terms of I achieved my goal in making the top 8, but with top 4 being able to play off, I did not make the top 4. However, I was between 5th and 8th. I did not make the playoffs. However, my goal wasn't to make playoffs. It was to make top 8, and I did it. So I am very satisfied with my performance there. So where do we begin? As I said, we had 20 players, including one junior. That junior was playing a Turbo Hands deck, I believe it was. And the tournament were really a lot of single appearances. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks made double appearances. So among 20 decks, we had 6 decks holding 10% of the meta, whereas the rest hold that 5% of the meta. So let's go through the meta here and see what we had in this tournament. So we had 2 Dragapult EX. We had 2 Lost Box in the dance there. We had 3 Charizard. So therefore, Charizard, took my notes here is a little off. So Charizard actually took the meta share here. Let's see what that would be. 15% of the meta was Charizard. All right. And the rest would hold that 10 and 5%. So Charizard taking that 15%. Dragapult holding 10%. Lost Box as well holding 10%. We have Raging Bolt taking that 10% as well. 2 Gardevoir EX holding that 10% as well. And 2 Chenpao EX holding 10% as well. And the single appearances taking 5% of the meta was 1 Spidops. A Spidops deck there. Very interesting deck. Myself with the Regidrago V-Star. Yeah, making that appearance. 1 single deck there. We had the 1 Turbo Hands. We had a Blissey EX up in the dance. We had a Greninja EX and a Giratina V-Star there holding up the rare of the meta. So with the 20 players, one junior could not have his separate tournament, so he played there with the masters, and I guess he would be the top junior, so he would get that first place junior prize. So we would have 5 rounds of Swiss into top 4 playoffs. So your boy Carib Boy run went something like this. My first round, oh my goodness, was up against a lost box, and who else would it be than my arch nemesis and the reigning champion at the point in time, Christian Luchin was my first opponent. Oh my goodness, Olia. If I'm being honest, it was intimidating going up against possibly one of the strongest players in the local community, and arguably one of the best. So it was Regidrago versus Lost Box, and I had a okay start. I don't remember exactly how the start was, but it was a long game, and I was honestly seeing defeat at a point in time. I was getting trouble to draw what I needed. At that point, he started to take prizes already, and I managed to get a 2 prize. And of the 2 prizes, I pull a Regidrago Vista and a Fire Energy, which was the exact 2 cards I needed to turn the game around. Carib Nation, I started to shake. You know, on stream, when I'm in the finals at the World Championship, I remember Vance Kennedy, or the reigning world champion, when he pulled that boss to win the game, the way he was shaking, I couldn't control it. I was seeing a possible win, and I started to shake. Oh my goodness. And I was able to turn the game around and finally get a win on Christian Luchin. It feel like I win the whole tournament, because honestly, I've met up with Chin at tournaments very often, and I always lost against him. So it was kind of a double win for me personally, and big up Chin as well. I think he would know how much it meant to me to get that win. So I started off my round 1 with a win and 3 points, moving into round 2. Round 2, I faced off against Harry. Big up Harry one time. He was playing Dragapult EX. And oh my goodness, I had a long, slow start. And Harry was able to set up. I wanted to get set up and prevent him from evolving to Dragapult, but I could not do that. He was able to set up, get up to Dragapult ahead of me, and I really couldn't compete with that. I really fought back. We went down to 1 prize each, Carib Nation. Well, I went down to 1 prize, and I Iono'd before I attacked. And after we discussed the game, I asked him if he had game in his hand. He said he had multiple outs. The Iono was the perfect play. But off the Iono, my boy pulled Radiant Charizard and a Fire Energy and was able to take out one of my Ogre-Pons. And he took the game. So round 2 was a loss for me. Going into round 3, I was 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 points. Round 3. Possibly my favorite round in the game because of what I was able to pull off. I faced off against Brian Jagrup. He was playing Raging Bolt. Last time me and Brian faced off, Brian took the win. He was playing at the time was Future Hands. Yes, I was so fried that tournament was a best of 3 tournament, and I thought he was playing Raging Bolt. I made a stupid comment. We all laugh at the comment. So seeing him flip Raging Bolt, I had a plan. I could have benched more Pokemon, but I benched 1 Reggie V and 1 Ogre-Pon. And I said the plan was to see, to limit how much prize he could take, get up to Regidrago Vista, limit his prizes, hoping he would take out the Ogre-Pon as it was an easier prize than the Regidrago, leave Regidrago alone and try to get Noivern in the discard and lock the game with Covert Flight. Brian set up really quick. Raging Bolt is such a quick and aggressive deck, Carib Nation. I was bummy. I was so bummy. I think that he took out my first Regidrago V. I was able to bench a second one. And I believe, I'm not sure if I benched something else, baited him. And he left Regidrago and Ogapon on the field. Future Carib Boy here, just to bring some clarity to the game. I remembered while editing, I benched two I had a Regidrago V in the active, one Ogapon and a second Regi. I put a Fire Energy on the benched Regi, and he bossed that up and took that and knocked out that, and that is how we got his 2 prize. So what I'm explaining here followed that, and that this is how I was able to Regi do the V-Star power. But in a almost desperate and last chance, this is either now or never move, I was able to get Noivern in the discard. I think I had like 4 cards in hand. I Ultra Ball for the Noivern. I V-Star. I discarded Penny and Earthen Vessel. I took up Penny and Earthen Vessel. Earthen Vessel discarded the Noivern, and I had Penny. I already used a supporter, so I could not use Penny that exact turn and set the game off that turn. So I had to hold Penny in hand. I started the Covert Flight from there. It surprised him because he took up the card and read it a couple times. And he did not knock out Regidrago or Ogapon that turn. So my next turn, I did one more draw with Ogapon, Penny, the Ogapon, Regidrago V-Star alone on the field. And I spammed Covert Flight until, well, that necessarily was a checkmate. He could have played for time and draw the game, but I don't think he had enough time to do that, because it reached the point where 2 more turns and I would win, because I would have knocked out an Ogapon with 1 more Covert Flight at the turn he's conceded. And the next turn, I had a full hand. I wasn't even looking at my hands after drawing and covert flighting, if that's the way to say it. And I had a boss in hand, and I had he had a Pokemon I could take 2 prizes. So I would have take 2 prizes down to 2, and the next turn I would win. So I finished round 3 with a win, 2 wins, 1 loss, 6 points. On to round 4, I faced off against big up Javid Ali one time. He was playing Dragapult again, my second Dragapult. And this was the worst start ever. I started with the only basic in hand being Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt in the active, Carib Nation. What I going to do here? Thankfully, Javid took 3 mulligans, and off the mulligans, I pulled Penny. I went second. But that really slowed me down. By the time I got Bolt back in my hand, I couldn't see a Dragapult. I couldn't see a Dragapult. Not a Dragapult. I couldn't see a Regidrago V-Star. And Javid was fully set up. I don't think I took any prizes. He beat me. Flawless victory. Flawless victory to Javid here. By the time I could get rolling and start to set up my board, he already steamrolling me to the ground. And I lost round 4. 2 wins, 2 losses, 6 points again. Top 8 is looking very sketchy at this point. I know I have to win round 5 to even hope for a chance to make top 8. We already know at this time that only top 4 will play off. I'm sure I wasn't going into the playoffs, but I was still hoping for the win in round 5 to hope for top 8 finish. In round 5, I faced off against Chinpao, against my teammate Marlon Acosta. Honestly, I won this game, but it really had me feeling how I won it. Marlon totally bricked in his game. There was nothing he could do. He had a Chinpao in the active, one set of supporters and Vista and thing in his hand. There was absolutely nothing he could do. I went for a turn 3 dunk. He went first, I went second. Sorry, he went first, I went second. So on my second turn, which would have been the fourth turn of the game, I was able to dunk him for the win using Raging Bolt. Yes, I got Raging Bolt to discard and I dunked him and took the game there. Winning round 5, I finished the Swiss run with 3 wins, 2 losses. And then the anxiety started to kick in. Other games were finishing up because that was a really quick game. So I had to wait the whole round 5 to see what my position was, Carib Nation. And it was nerve-wracking, to be honest. It was nerve-wracking. But as I started the video, Carib Nation, Carib Boy did it. I finished in top 8 at 7th place. At 7th place, I finished top 8. And I must say, I feel very good. I set a realistic goal for myself, and I achieved it. Setting those little step-by-step realistic goals really works. I feel accomplished, and I feel I could step up the goals moving forward. So, top 4. Who do we have for top 4? Well, Carib Nation, it was the top 4 in no order yet. We had Javed Ali, Jimmy Assam, Shakil Sandy, and Shivanan Gobin rounding off the top 4 of this here Pokemon League Cup at MVE Collectibles. So the semi-final round was the semi-final rounds we had Jimmy Assam versus Shivanan Gobin. This was Lugia Vista versus Lost Box. It was a long game. It was a long game witnessing it. And your winner, moving on to the finals, the first finalist of the night was Shivanan Gobin, waiting to battle it out for the championship, the champion title of the night. And across from them, we had Javed Ali piloting his Dragapult EX facing off against Shakil Sandy with his formidable Gardevoir EX deck. Shakil Sandy came out on top, joining Shivanan in the finals. And moving on to the championship round. So our finals for this cup was Shivanan Gobin piloting Lost Box against Shakil Sandy piloting Gardevoir EX. And your winner after this intense battle, listen, that game I watched, was very entertaining. These fellas put on a show, as they say. And your July to September Pokemon League Cup at MVE Collectibles champion is Shakil Sandy. Congratulations, brother. It has been a time coming, but you have proven yourself among the best in the country and not taking anything away from Shivanan Gobin as well, cementing his position as one of the top players in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing could be taken away from Shivanan as well, placing second. Second place is in a cup. Listen, it's a dream for me. So I hope one day to join all the fellas. But rounding up after the score sheet was calculated by the program, we have Shakil Sandy first place, Shivanan Gobin second place, Javed Ali taking away the third place spot, and Jimmy Assam rounding off the top 4 finishes of the night. Congratulations to our top 4 and our top 8 receiving championship points. We have big up. Listen, I'm so proud of this fella in 5th place here. Ole don't believe it. Ole won't believe how proud of him. I hope he knows how proud I am of him. Placing 5th place in this cup is Arundel Brizan. Congratulations, brother. Real big up to you. In 6th place, we have one of the Chin Pao masters, Ricardo Bahadu Singh, lovingly called Kiado. Kiado, very proud of you, brother. Very, very proud of you. Your boy, Carib Boy, took the 7th place spot in the top 8. I am very proud of myself. I hope the Carib Nation who supports me feels similarly. I thank you all for following me all this time, for the support. Listen, I am very happy with this run. And rounding off the top 8, I mean, there's no doubt. I'm not surprised. Christian Luchin taking 8th place here. But I'm sure by his standard, he said, nah. He probably said, nah. But boy, you're good. You're good. After the first round loss, Christian just went on to battle and make it up to the top. Nothing could be taken away from Luchin as well. Your top 8, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. It was a real good tournament. Big up MVE Collectibles again. And we're moving along. We finished with July. We're moving on to August. We have 2 challenges. And the first day of September, we have another cup at Victory Road Gaming. So your boy Carib Boy will be there to try again for another top finish. Alright, so congratulations to everyone who was present. Congratulations. I mean, those who couldn't make it, all you miss out. We miss all you. Carib Nation, I hope all you like what you're seeing. So beat up that like button, boss a subscription. This is your boy Carib Boy. Out again.